Shri Ram asked Agastya Muni where they should spend the rest of their period of Vanwas. And he suggested that they should go to Panchavati. He said that it's a beautiful place next to the Godavari, near the Godavari. There's plenty of food they can find, fruits and roots. Also the water source nearby. He also said that there are Rakshas attacks happening there and Sri Ram can protect the ascetics while he's there. Rakshasas had a power center at Janasthan, not too far from Panchavati. And Khar, one of Ravan's brothers, was leading the Rakshasas there. Agastya Muni also gifted Ram, gave him some special astras, a bow, some arrows and a sword. He was preparing him for any battles with the Rakshasas while they're staying at Panchavati. Ram, Lakshman and Sita move on from Agastya Muni's ashram, and on the way to Panchavati, they come across somebody who looks like a vulture, but is not actually a vulture. We had spoken about the Vanaras, the forest dwellers who dressed up like monkeys. So here was a forest dweller who dressed up like a vulture. His name was Jatayu. And he said that he used to be a dear friend of Dashrath's. And he told Ram that he would be happy to come along and stay with them during their stay in Panchavati and be of any assistance. And so all four of them came to Panchavati, where they set up a hermitage and started, Shri Ram, Lakshman and Sita started living there. Then one day, they had a visitor, a Rakshasi. She looked at Ram and she was attracted to him. She approached him lustfully and said, "Who are you? We Rakshasas roam around in this area. What are you doing here?" She was clearly aggressive. But Ram ignored her aggressive nature and introduced themselves and asked her about herself. When she heard Ram speak, she was even more attracted to him. And she said, "My name is SURPANAKHA. I am Ravan's sister. You must have heard about him." And she's attracted towards Ram. And she tells him, "I think you should be my husband." Ram once again ignores her inappropriate behavior and he tells her, "I'm married and my wife is very dear to me." And then a little playfully, he says, "Why don't you ask Lakshman? He's also very handsome." And Shurpanakha drops Ram and immediately goes to Lakshman and proposes to him. Lakshman also refuses. But continuing Ram's banter, he says, "Why do you want to be my wife? I'm just a servant to my brother. I think somebody like you deserve him, not me. So you should ask Ram." Shurpanakha goes back to Ram and says that you are not looking at me because of this woman. She's talking about Sita. And so I will kill her and eat her in front of you. And she lunges towards Sita with the stated intention of killing her. Suddenly the situation is now dangerous. Shri Ram steps in. Lakshman comes to their rescue and he strikes Shurpanakha with his sword. And her ear and nose are slashed. Shurpanakha goes screaming into the forest. This incident, sometimes it is understood a bit incorrectly. People think of Shurpanakha as some helpless woman sitting cowering in fear, and Lakshman struck his sword on her. But clearly she was the aggressor. She had tried to kill Sita and Lakshman had come for the rescue and she got injured.
How is she described?
So she is described, she describes Sita as old and ugly and some other unflattering remarks. And Maharshi Valmiki also says that it's surprising what were appropriate adjectives for her. She was using them for Sita.
Wow. Projection of insecurities. Okay. But are the Rakshasas physically described at any point?
Yeah. So we get a detailed description of Ravan, but Shurpanakha also was physically strong. In fact, when she goes running to Khar, her brother, he's surprised. He said, "Who could have done this to you? What happened?" Right. So she was strong, and if she attacked Sita, there was a clear danger for Sita when Shurpanakha attacked her.
Gotcha.
So Shurpanakha went to Khar, her brother, and told him what had happened. Interestingly, when she is describing Ram and Lakshman to Khar, she is still in awe of them. So she uses the words that these two brothers, Ram and Lakshman, they are so handsome and strong. They are like gods. But because of that woman, they attacked me. So now I want them dead. She tells Khar. By the way, here there is a particular shlok which is quite popular. This was later used in the prayer called Ramaraksha Stotra. So Shurpanakha is telling about Ram and Lakshman. She says, Tarunau Rupa Sampannau Sukumarau Mahabalau Pundarika Vishalakshau Chira Krishna Jinambarau. She is describing them, how they are handsome and so on. And this shlok was later on used for another prayer.
If you enjoyed this clip from the Ranveer Show, we've uploaded a ton of other clips related to a ton of other topics. So explore the channel because there's something for everyone.